Let's reset our finances. So I am Dr. Tiffany Shelton. I make videos on how to intentionally get things done so you can spend more time actually enjoying your dream life. I hope this video will inspire you for your own financial fresh start and help you reach financial peace and abundance faster. So you might be asking, why are you doing this in Q2? Isn't it already past? The new year has already started. Well, the reason that I'm doing this in Q2 is because I like to think of Q1 after I set my yearly goals as kind of like a try-on period where you're kind of trying on your goals, you're trying on the things you're thinking about financially, and you're seeing how they fit with your life. And particularly with my finances, once I reached Q2 and started Q2 planning, I was a lot clearer on what actually were my goals. And I had actually had a few experiences in that first quarter trying on some of my goals to actually also decide on new goals that I wanted to make sure that I was implementing into this year. So I'm doing kind of a financial reset with my new goals in mind for the year. You're kind of fine-tuning things and resetting things. I've also been a part of some groups and some motivation of other people making money that have helped me see things in a new light and actually thought about ways that I could better my finances that I wasn't considering before. So I'm also going to be incorporating some of those insights from those experiences. And one of the main things I want to do in this reset, or what I've been doing this reset as I sat down and did it and now I'm sharing it with you guys, is really focusing on financial wellness and self-care, which I've broken down into a few pieces that I've tried to reset my finances. So the first piece of that is financial clarity. So just having a clear picture of my finances has become really important to me as far as my own financial wellness. So that's things like budgeting, bookkeeping each week, forecasting. Those are all parts of like my financial clarity that I want to make sure is incorporated into my new financial being, or that I want to make sure that I'm incorporating into this reset. Another big piece of financial wellness for me is financial knowledge. So just continuing to educate myself on personal finance and what I can do to better my own financial situation, educating myself on the best investment practices, savings practices, best banks for saving, those kinds of things. So continuously, inoculating myself and leaning into knowledge that helps me learn more about managing my finances. Financial abundance is also a part of my financial self-care, and thinking about how can I have an abundance mindset and really checking anytime that I'm falling into a scarcity mindset. So resetting my ways of thinking and really knowing what to look out for when it comes to triggers or financial scarcity mindset for myself. Financial intention is also an important part of my financial wellness. So that's doing things like being intentional about my revenue sources, being intentional about my spending habits, being intentional about the way that I save, being more in control or trying to be more on top of things when it comes to the way that I am bringing in money, but also releasing money in this flow of abundance. And then that last piece of financial wellness for me is financial planning. So that's things like emergencies funds, saving for my kids' college, their college funds, retirement planning for me and my husband, and also thinking about how I'm going to prioritize eliminating debt. So for me, the only debt that I have is my student loan debt, really thinking about ways in which I'm going to continue chipping away at that. So mainly though, just to speak to that quickly, my large strategy with that is I work for a non-for-profit that serves underserved communities. So I am part of the public loan service forgiveness plan. So just really essentially doing what I do every day is helping me with that. So now that we have an idea of what we're resetting to make sure that we have the financial wellness that we actually want, let me move into my new money goals that I really thought about in this financial reset. So essentially going through Q1, I really streamlined and got clear on my own streams of income currently, and actually my goals for streams of income on how I want to move forward in my business, and also of course in my job as a neuropsychologist, thinking about what are some realistic ways, what are some sustainable ways that I want to diversify my streams of income. So the biggest piece of my streams of income is my job as a neuropsychologist, which I'm grateful for because I spent a lot of time and money getting my degree getting my PhD to be specific, to become a neuropsychologist. So that is the biggest chunk and will likely continue to be the biggest chunk of my income for the foreseeable future. The second piece of the pie of my streams of income is my goal planner that I sell. I have been making progress and letting people know about what I have to offer in my Mod Ambition planner. And so that is the second piece of the streams of income. It's actually that physical product that I'm very proud of. I know everybody's into digital products these days, but for me, when it comes to planning, I have to offer something that I actually use. And I'm a hybrid girly. So yes, I use digital, but I also use paper, especially in that day-to-day to keep me on track. Having this physical product is not part of everyone's stream of income or what most people like to do these days, but for me, it's something I've been really happy with. It's been really fulfilling, and I see the feedback that it's helping a lot of people. So I'm definitely going to continue to have that as part of my business plan is my Mod Ambition planner. The third piece of income that was really motivated by the women in the accountability group that I'm in is affiliate marketing. So on Amazon, I have a storefront, and also now I'm on Like to Know It. I will put my link in the description below, but I always get asked about certain things that I'm using, especially makeup, like when I'm filming my YouTube videos or my outfits on Instagram. I'm a mom, so if you're a mom, you know we have a lot of products. So just basically sharing what I'm already using and actually what I'm already sharing. I mean, people ask me for links all the time. I'm finding links, and just being more intentional about it, letting go of that imposter syndrome of nobody really cares about what I use or do in my everyday life. And that's just an organic stream of income because I'm already actually doing it. Stream of income largely is done by my husband. So he does most of our investments and handles most of our portfolio in that way. I mean, he talks about it to me. He talks to me about it, but to be honest, he does a lot of it. Obviously, we have real estate investments. Well, not obviously. If you know me, you know we have that with our house and then other things. But I also wanted to make sure I'm maxing out my 401k with my job this year, and then moving to a high yield saving account, my savings account. That's another stream of income, is like investments and things like that. And then more recently, a much smaller portion of my streams of income is AdSense here on YouTube. I was recently monetized in 2023 into 2023. So then YouTube AdSense is a very small piece of the picture there. And then my last two are really dream streams of income. They're more things that I have plans for down the line, and that's things like more real estate investment and thinking things of like rental income. So the side of actually the real estate appreciating, but also doing some rental income, debating on doing between long-term and short-term, still educating myself, like I said, that whole knowledge piece. But those are my last two dream pieces. And then other money goals that I decided on in this financial reset is paying off a business credit card that I have. I essentially am just going to pay it off at the end of May instead of keeping it lingering, because the time that it doesn't have interest is coming to an end. So I'm like, okay, before the interest starts, I'm going to pay that off, and then continuing in my public loan student forgiveness. So that's my plan with that. Okay, let's move into my wish list. And part of this financial reset, I also thought about what are some of the things on my wish list to actually purchase and actually enjoy this financial abundance for this 2024 year. So I took some time to think about, what do I actually want to get for myself this year? One of the things that I want to do is to go on a couples vacation. Me and my husband have not went on a vacation together since my kiddos were, no, we've never been on a vacation together since my kiddos have been here. So the last time we've been on one was on our baby moon. We went to Aspen, and you know, I couldn't really do much. I was huge. So I'm thinking of strategies and ways that I can try to get my mom to watch my kids during the week, with like in the evenings, and then me and my husband can go away for like 3 or 4 nights. I have never really had a break. The only break I've had from my children has been like for like a funeral I traveled for once. Not a funeral, so it was like a couple weeks before my grandma passed. I think that may have been the only time I've been away from them, so it's long overdue. I was thinking of like going somewhere we could drive to, like Aspen again or Vail. That way we could drive there. We wouldn't have to waste time on airports and things like that. But I have to talk to my mom. If you're watching this, Mom, I'm going to be talking to you about this soon. So that's definitely one of the things I am wishing for 2024. We also want to knock down the playground in our backyard. When we moved into the backyard, there was this playground structure that we don't really want to keep. One, it's not safe for our kiddos, but also we have a park very close to us. So there's no reason for us to have one in our backyard too. So yeah, I want to knock that down. And then I also do want to buy myself a luxury bag. I am more of like a luxury makeup type of person. I like luxury makeup, luxury perfumes, but like bags I kind of get away with. Like I have some nice ones, mostly were given to me by my husband, like the Louis and stuff, but I've never bought stuff like that for myself. Like I like cute bags and I like cute shoes, but I usually don't buy like designer expensive bags and designer expensive shoes. Like I like to keep it on a budget. But I said I want to get myself like a nice luxury bag. My kids are moving out of baby stage. I'm moving out of that stage where I just need to like wear something around my waist or a backpack, purse, or a diaper bag. I want to have like just a nice, that I think I deserve. I work really hard. So I'm like convincing you guys, but I'm also like trying to convince myself, because I'm like, I'm so weird about buying luxury bags. I know they appreciate and things like that, but I also want to put my money to good use. But we're moving into financial abundance, right? So anyways, let me tell you the ones that I'm considering. There's 2 bags that I'm thinking of, and maybe you can tell me in the comments which one you prefer. There is this Kate Spade bag, which I think is really, really beautiful. But then there's also, so we'll call that number 1. And then number 2 is this YSL bag. And neither one of these are just like hugely expensive, but they're more expensive than I usually spend on a bag. So tell me which one you like better. I like both of them, but those are on my wish list. One of them, not both of them. Let me know which one you like better. I also took a look at my financial habits in this reset. When I sat down and kind of did some of this thought work, I thought about what are some of those habits that are really going to get me through to help me reach some of my financial goals that I have for myself, especially when it comes to being intentional about my finances. So my budgeting routine is going to be an integral part of my financial habits that are helping me stay on track. Each week on Fridays, I have a budget routine. Fridays, I budget with my husband. We use a software that was given to us by, we did the Dame Francie financial piece before we got married. So we still use that spreadsheet. It has all our bank account stuff rolling into it. I am also now using a budget that I found out from a YouTuber here who does financial wellness. Selena, her name is Selena. I'll put her name up on the screen. I can't remember her last name. So I use her budget, one for personal budgeting and then one for my business side. And then all my business, like official bookkeeping, is in an account software called Xero, Xero, that I use to budget. So I do all of that on Fridays, usually, unless there's like something going on, like sick from school or something. And then there's 3 other habits that I want to make sure that I'm continuing to utilize in my financial life. One is just saving in general. So I have a savings goal that I'm keeping track of, that I'm doing each time I get paid out of my neuropsychology salary. So that's 1. 2 is just buying higher quality products, especially for things I use a lot, like makeup, for instance. It makes me work harder actually, and I use more of it if I buy cheaper stuff. So buying the good stuff just helps me in the long run. Even just higher quality clothes and items, things like that around the house, because you end up spending more on a lot of things if you go the cheaper route, because you have to constantly replace them or they don't work properly. So it sounds counterintuitive, but actually getting in the habit of just buying the higher quality and stop being like cheap, really. And then the third set of habits really that I'm implementing or continuing to implement, because I did this in my first business, is Profit First. I don't know if you guys have read that book. I will put a link in the description, but it's a great way to think about when you're entering into your business, or as you are already in your business, putting profit first, taking the profit first, because if you don't take it, it's like Pareto's rule. It will expand and your business will use everything you have. So you have to really take out your profit first and then operate with what's left. So implementing that in my finances has been really helpful in the past and has saved me quite a bunch of times in the past, because he has a whole system for taking out your taxes, taking out your savings automatically, and taking out your profit each month. So just continuing those habits just because I know they work. And then lastly, I want to tell you some books that I'm revisiting. These are books that I've read in the past. If you have some that are on these lists that would be new for me, please suggest them in the comments below. I love to read personal finance things, but these are some books that I've read in the past that I want to reread and revisit as part of this financial reset. The one that I'm currently reading right now and that I've read before is The Psychology of Money, which I really enjoyed. And it's more, I wouldn't say philosophical, but it's not as practical as some of the other ones that I'm going to mention, but I like the mindset that it gets you into. Of course, being a psychologist, I'm probably a little bit biased to it, but definitely I really enjoy this book, The Psychology of Money, this is the current one I'm rereading. The one after that I plan to revisit is Getting Good with Money, which I'll put on the screen. I'll link all of these in the description below. Practical, very strategic. You can implement it into your life right away to be helpful. And then the third one, which I find very practical in the day-to-day, but also in the long-term planning, is the Tony Robbins one, Master the Money Game, which I found to be very enlightening when I first read it. Like, I just remember that being my reaction. So I'm going to go back and reread that one after the Tiffany book. If you are on this journey of resetting, I'm wishing you well and wishing you good luck with your financial reset. If you want to see more videos on how I actually set and achieve my goals, I'll put a video up here I did for my most recent 12-week year planning. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this video, and cheers to you planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. Namaste.